Imagine your business running itself,
Yeah.
tasks handled, needs anticipated, problems just solved by intelligent digital teammates. Sounds like a dream, right?
Well, maybe not anymore. This isn't really just sci-fi, or some far-off promise. AI agents are fundamentally reshaping how enterprise works
Right now.
right now, changing the whole idea of a workforce.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really close look at AI agents, these autonomous systems that are genuinely shaping the businesses of tomorrow.
And our mission today, really, is to bridge that what to how gap for you. We'll
Mhm.
unpack what AI agents truly are, why they represent such a, monumental shift,
Yeah.
where the biggest opportunities are, how you can actually identify and, start building them, and also touch on some crucial ethical things we need to think about.
Think of it as your strategic roadmap, a guide to this new frontier.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's start with the basics then. What exactly is an AI agent if we boil it down?
Simply put, it's an autonomous system.
Yeah.
Okay? It can perceive its environment, make its own decisions based on that perception, and then carry out multi-step actions to hit a specific goal.
So we're not talking about a simple chatbot here.
No, definitely not. Think of it more like a cognitive digital workforce.
Hmm. And what's really fascinating is how they differ from, say, traditional software.
Right. Traditional software is all about deterministic, pre-programmed rules. It's rigid. It follows a script.
Okay.
AI agents, though, they leverage things like large language models, LLMs, and other AI techniques to actually reason. They learn from feedback. And crucially, they adapt to new situations they haven't seen before.
That's the key difference.
It really is. It means they can operate 24/7, they can scale on demand in ways humans just can't, and deliver efficiency that's, pretty much unattainable otherwise.
Yeah.
It's a fundamental shift from just automation to genuine autonomy.
And the numbers, I mean, they really back that up. They're quite dramatic.
They are.
Industry analysis projects the global AI agent market to surge from about $5 billion this year, 2024, to over $47 billion by 2030.
Wow.
That's nearly a tenfold increase in just 6 years. This isn't just incremental growth. It feels like a fundamental reallocation of enterprise capital.
Yeah, it signals that businesses aren't just experimenting anymore. They're making agent core to their strategy.
And companies are already reporting huge results.
Yeah.
We're seeing things like 40–80% operational cost reductions.
It is massive.
And even 2 to 5 times productivity gains where these agents are deployed. That 40–80% cost cut, I mean, that tells you entire workflows are being digitally optimized, not just slightly improved.
It creates a real competitive gap, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Between the early adopters and everyone else.
Definite. But okay, let's clarify. What's the core difference then between an AI agent and just, regular automation?
The key thing is reasoning and adapting. Agents reason and adapt. Unlike static, rule-based automation, they can think.
Got it. Adapting versus just following rules. So to really jump on this massive wave of change, we need to understand the dynamics, right? You mentioned a strategic roadmap, kind of like we saw with software as a service.
Exactly. History gives us a bit of a blueprint here. If we look closely, we can think about it in waves.
Okay, waves. I like that. So wave one.
Wave one was the obvious stuff, the consumer applications. Think simple meeting summarizers, or maybe those email drafters.
The low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, automating pretty straightforward digital tasks. But here's the interesting part, and the warning maybe. That space is now completely commoditized.
Right, because the tech giants, Google, Microsoft, they just embed these features into their main products.
Exactly. So if your AI agent idea can be easily copied as just a feature, well, your strategic mode is pretty shallow. It's dangerous territory.
Honestly, I still sometimes wrestle with prompt drift myself. That's when an AI kind of subtly deviates from what you want it to do over time, even in those supposedly simple applications. So imagine the complexity in these bigger enterprise systems.
Oh, absolutely. It's a real challenge.
Yeah.
Which brings us to wave two, the non-obvious consumer applications.
Okay.
These are emerging right now. They're creating entirely new consumer behaviors, kind of like Airbnb did for finding a place to stay or TikTok did for video.
Things we didn't know we needed.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is the big corporations are usually slow to jump into these because they seem unproven, risky. But for a bold entrepreneur, this wave has the potential to create category-defining companies. We're talking valuations in the tens, maybe hundreds of billions.
Okay. Big potential there. And then wave three.
Wave three. Vertical AI agents. Now this, I genuinely believe, is the trillion-dollar opportunity. No exaggeration.
A trillion. Wow, what does that mean? Vertical.
It means hyper-specialized solutions,
Right.
tailored for unique, complex industry workflows. Imagine an AI agent built just for optimizing logistics networks,
Okay.
or one dedicated to ensuring pharmaceutical compliance, or maybe an agent that intelligently optimizes crop yields in agriculture, pulling in weather data, soil data.
Super specific.
Exactly. And this category is a gold mine for a few key reasons. First, the total addressable market, the TAM, is massive.
Right.
You're not just going after a company's software budget. You're competing for that, plus the payroll of the human teams doing that work now. The value proposition changes completely.
From better software to a fully managed digital workforce.
Precisely, which massively expands your potential revenue. Second, there's much lower competition from big tech.
Why is that?
Well, a $100 million niche might be huge for a startup, right? But for a trillion-dollar company, it's almost a rounding error.
Okay.
Plus, they often lack the deep, deep domain expertise you need to build these really specialized solutions. This creates a kind of protected space for innovators.
A defensible moat.
Exactly, built on specialized knowledge, which gives you a higher probability of success. So looking at those three ways, which one offers the clearest path, maybe the most accessible opportunity for someone starting out today?
I'd say vertical AI agents offer the largest, most accessible opportunity for new builders. Less noise, clearer value.
Yeah, I agree. That's where the smart money seems to be focusing.
Okay, so understanding the theory of these waves is helpful, but finding a viable idea for one of these vertical agents, that seems like the real challenge.
It is.
So how do we systematically approach finding and, maybe more importantly, validating that opportunity?
It really starts with knowing your ground. Step one, choose your domain wisely. Begin with what you already know, your insider knowledge.
Your current job, a past career.
Even a deeply understood hobby, potentially.
Yeah.
Your nuanced understanding of the real-world problem and maybe those hidden inefficiencies in a specific field, that's gold.
So lean into your own experience.
Absolutely. Promising general areas include things like logistics, legal tech, financial services, manufacturing, e-commerce, agriculture. But the best opportunities are often where you have direct, personal experience with the pain points.
Okay, that makes sense. Step two.
Step two, identify repetitive, high-value workflows. You're basically hunting for processes that are done over and over, but maybe have lots of variations.
Stuff that rules-based systems choke on.
Exactly. Look for tasks that are high volume, super time intensive, or where mistakes are really costly. And critically, find workflows where a human is currently acting as the glue between different software tools.
Can you give an example of that glue work?
Sure. Think about a freight forwarder.
Yes.
They might be constantly pulling data from different shipping line websites,
Yeah.
then re-entering it into their main system, then updating clients by email, then generating customs paperwork from another application.
Ah, okay. Lots of manual copying and pasting and translating between systems.
Precisely. That's a perfect target for an AI agent that can orchestrate all of that.
Right. So step three then must be about leveraging the AI itself.
Yep. Step three, leverage the unique advantages of AI agents. Design your solution around what they do best.
Which is?
24/7 operation handling global demands, different time zones. Scalability processing thousands of things as easily as 10. Consistency eliminating those human errors. And of course, significant cost efficiency. You're essentially offering a digital employee at a fraction of the cost.
So it's about building a fundamentally better way, not just automating the old way.
Exactly. And then step four, which is maybe the most crucial.
Validation.
Validate with extreme rigor. Seriously, before you write a single line of code, obsessively validate your idea. Interview potential customers.
What kind of questions should you ask?
Really probing ones. Like,
Yeah.
walk me through the last time you handled whatever the target task is. Where did things get stuck? What frustrated you the most?
Okay.
Or maybe if you could wave a magic wand and just eliminate one part of your daily workload, what would it be and why? The goal is to find a problem that is so painful, customers will genuinely pay you to solve it.
Ideally, they'll thank you for solving it.
That's the dream. So the deepest understanding of the user's pain, that's the real key here, isn't it? To make sure you're building something people actually want.
Absolutely. Deep empathy for the problem basically guarantees market demand. You're not guessing anymore.
Couldn't agree more. Mid-roll sponsor read.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've talked about the what and the why of AI agents, the strategic waves of opportunity, and how to find a good vertical idea.
Right, so we've laid out the theory and the strategy. Now let's pivot to the practical side, the blueprint for actually building production-grade AI agents.
Because having the idea is one thing, execution is another.
Totally. Creating a really robust AI agent takes a mix of skills. It's multidisciplinary. We can anchor it around 4 crucial areas, 4 pillars of competency.
Okay, pillar one.
Pillar 1, advanced prompt engineering. This is really the art of instruction. It's about designing prompts that guide an LLM to perform accurately, reliably, consistently.
We're talking way beyond just asking a simple question.
Oh, yeah. An agent needs to handle complex, multi-step tasks, often from a single, very detailed prompt. It's what some call the structure-flexibility paradox.
Structure flexibility paradox. Explain it.
You need to provide a rigid framework, a structure, for consistency.
Yeah.
But you also need to allow the AI enough flexibility within that structure to reason and handle unexpected variations.
So it's like giving super precise instructions to a smart intern.
That's a great analogy. You define their exact role, give them all the necessary context, list the tools they can use, detail every single step, set clear boundaries, and specify the exact output format you need.
The more rigorous the brief, the less room for error.
Precisely. Less room for creative misinterpretation by the AI.
Okay, makes sense. Pillar 2.
Pillar 2, evaluation systems, or evils. If prompt engineering is the art, evils are definitely the science.
Okay.
These are automated tests. They systematically measure your agent's performance. Think about it. When an agent is live, running autonomously, you can't manually check every single thing it does.
Right, that wouldn't scale.
Not at all. You need systems constantly running maybe thousands of test scenarios to ensure it's reliable, especially as you make changes or the data it sees evolves. A robust evaluation suite is often a company's most valuable proprietary IP.
Because it ensures trust and consistency. What kind of things do evils measure?
Key things. Did it actually complete the task successfully? How good was the output quality? Did it use its tools correctly? How well did it recover from errors? And just how efficient was it?
Okay, so evils are critical. Pillar 3.
Pillar 3. Good old traditional software engineering. An AI agent isn't just a fancy prompt, it's a software product.
Right.
It needs a solid engineering foundation. That means designing for scalability right from the start, handling complex data flows properly, implementing really robust security.
Security against things like prompt injection or data leaks.
Exactly, and building good observability ways to monitor and debug the system when things go wrong.
Whoa.
I mean, imagine scaling this to handle 1 billion queries a day.
Yeah, that's where solid engineering really makes the difference between a cool demo and a resilient, reliable system.
Absolutely, it's non-negotiable at scale.
Yeah.
And finally, Pillar 4.
Which is?
Pillar 4, product and domain acumen. Technical brilliance alone doesn't cut it. It's meaningless if it doesn't solve a real-world problem effectively.
So understanding the user, the business.
Deeply. Understanding the user workflows, the business constraints, and crucially, designing the human-in-the-loop aspect.
Knowing when the agent needs to raise its hand and ask for help.
Precisely. Knowing exactly when to escalate a problem to a human expert and designing that handoff smoothly. Making sure the agent is an assistant, not just operating in isolation. That's a critical product decision.
Okay, those 4 pillars make sense. Prompting, evils, engineering, and product domain sense. Looking at those 4, which one do you think new teams, maybe folks coming more from the AI side than traditional software, tend to overlook or underestimate the most?
I'd say evaluation systems are crucial but often neglected, leading to unreliable agents. People get excited about the prompting but forget to rigorously test.
Right. You build something cool, but you can't actually prove it works reliably.
And that stalls progress fast.
Okay, that leads nicely into the next point. Building these powerful agents comes with responsibility, right?
Oh, absolutely. Neglecting the ethical considerations isn't just bad form. It's a huge business and reputational risk. We've seen systems perpetuate bias or cause real harm if not designed thoughtfully.
So what are we talking about specifically?
We're talking careful bias mitigation in the data you use and the models themselves. Designing systems that are auditable, that log decisions so you have transparency and explainability.
So you can understand why it did what it did.
Yes, and clear accountability structures for when mistakes inevitably happen. Robust data privacy measures, of course. And that human in the loop we mentioned. It's not just a feature for better performance.
It's a governance mechanism.
It's a critical governance mechanism.
Yeah.
A safety net for accountability, for security, for catching things the AI might miss.
This convergence of skills, the prompting, the evils, the engineering, the product sense, the ethical awareness, it feels like it's creating a whole new kind of role.
It absolutely is. We're seeing the rise of the AI agent engineer. This person is a true hybrid.
Blending software engineering, data science.
And product management instincts, yeah. Demand for these individuals is just skyrocketing. Salaries are reflecting that, often ranging from, say, $95,000 up to over $270,000 for experienced people.
Wow.
But the opportunity isn't just direct employment. It extends to high-value consulting and definitely entrepreneurship, building those vertical agents we talked about.
So when you mentioned human in the loop, just to circle back, is it really more than just a feature to, say, improve the agent's accuracy?
Yes, it's fundamentally a critical governance mechanism for accountability and safety. It integrates essential human oversight.
Got it. Crucial distinction.
Okay, so for everyone listening who's feeling inspired and maybe ready to take the leap, let's give them a practical framework, a systematic approach to go from just an idea to actually implementing something.
Right, let's break it down into maybe 6 deliberate phases. Phase 1, deep immersion and observation.
Meaning?
Shadowing potential users, watching them work, meticulously documenting their daily frustrations, their workarounds, the inefficiencies. Really live the problem.
Okay, get boots on the ground. Phase 2, workflow decomposition. Take the target task and break it down into really granular steps. Map out all the dependencies, the decision points.
Understand the flow completely. Phase 3.
System design and human-in-the-loop strategy. Start creating flow diagrams for how the agent will work, and critically, define those human escalation paths right from the start.
When does the human step in? Phase 4.
Prototyping the happy path. Build a minimal, viable agent, but focus initially on the most common, ideal scenario. Get that working first.
Don't try to boil the ocean immediately.
No, exactly. Phase 5, rigorous evaluation and iteration. Build those evaluation suites in parallel with your agent development. Don't wait till the end.
Test as you go.
Constantly. And
Okay.
refine based on the data from those tests, not just your gut feeling. And finally, phase 6, gradual scaling.
Okay.
Slowly expand the agent's capabilities. Carefully onboard your first beta users. Get that real-world feedback and keep refining. Is it absolutely essential to follow these steps in this exact order, or is there some flexibility?
I'd argue yes. Systematic validation and iteration are really key for building robust, reliable solutions. Skipping steps usually leads to trouble later.
Right. Discipline pays off.
So let's recap the big idea here. The AI agent revolution. It isn't science fiction. It's not tomorrow. It's happening right now. It's reshaping industries.
Yeah, and the true lasting value won't be captured by those building general all-purpose tools. It'll be captured by those who apply these powerful tools with surgical precision.
Solving high-stakes, specific problems in specific industries.
Exactly.
It's really about building that fully managed digital workforce we talked about, creating those defensible moats through deep domain expertise, and potentially defining entirely new markets.
It requires that blend of technical skill and business understanding. This really feels like the next major frontier in enterprise innovation.
Okay, so let's make this really concrete. Here's your call to action, broken down into actionable steps for anyone listening.
Let's do it. This week, pick a vertical, one you genuinely understand, where you have some insider knowledge. Start playing around with advanced prompting frameworks. Use tools like Claude, OpenAI, whatever you have access to, and immerse yourself in the online communities where people are sharing what they're learning.
Okay, dive in. This month.
This month, identify one high-value, repetitive workflow within that vertical you chose. Sketch out the agent's logic, how you think it should work. Then, go talk to at least 5 potential customers. Validate the pain point. Is it real? Is it painful enough they'd pay to fix it?
Crucial validation step this quarter.
This quarter, build a basic prototype, that happy path agent we discussed. But just as importantly, maybe even more importantly, create your first set of automated evaluation tests.
Start measuring.
Measure its performance rigorously. Refine it based on that data, not just on whether it looks like it's working. And this year,
Big goal.
aim to have a production-ready agent actually serving real users. Focus intensely on building a sustainable business model around it. Deliver undeniable, measurable ROI to those first crucial customers.
The companies that are going to define the next decade, they will be the ones that master autonomous systems.
No doubt.
They'll be built by individuals, maybe people listening right now, who bridge that gap between AI's incredible potential and the market's real pressing needs.
The question isn't if these tools will change the world anymore. It's who will direct that change. Who will be the architects?
Will you just be a consumer of this new technology, or will you be one of its builders? The opportunity is definitely here. It's time to build.
Well said. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope this knowledge empowers you to take that next step.
We'll be back next time with another deep dive into the ideas shaping our future. Out to your own music.